Good evening, Internet. This is AV Marie, and I'm here to vent about a couple things. Now, I haven't really gone into this very in depth, but my relationship with my mom is not the best. We've had our conflicts, and it's kind of rocky. She thinks we're great. We're not. Let me just explain a little bit about our relationship. So, I wanted to do something nice because, I don't like that our relationship is rocky. Everybody wants like that BFF relationship with their mom, especially girls. By the way, yes, I wear glasses. I need them to see. In the past couple videos, I haven't used them because I'm afraid that the flare from the... Yeah, it does. Okay, no more glasses. I am a blob in front of the camera now, but it's all good. So, I wanted to do something nice for my mom. So, I knew she needed a new comforter, and I work at Bonkers, which happens to sell comforters. We have a home department or store, whatever, or section. So I thought, oh, she likes purple, she needs a new bed comforter, I'll get it for her as a surprise, like a belated birthday present. So I did, and then it came in the mail, and I didn't even know because I was at work, so by the time I got home, she'd already seen it, gotten it from the porch, and opened it and stuff, and this was like a few days later after I ordered it. So not only did she not thank me, I got into the room, and she had the comforter next to her, and then she had the comforter that she actually wanted in a screen on the laptop in front of her. And then she started explaining how if she brought the receipt, she could return the one I picked out so that she could get the one she liked. And it's like, why do I even bother trying? Point number 2 that might explain a little bit about my relationship with my mom. Last Christmas, like the song Last Christmas. Well, anyways. So I asked for one thing. I wanted a plane ticket to New York for Christmas or summer or at some point so that I could visit my, family that I left behind. I have a really close friend and her family, and they're basically my family. Like, they raised me since I was like 13. I lived at their house all the time. They were like, they took me places, my first movie just by myself, and, to the mall, and just, and they treated me like a person. Like I wasn't kept in a bubble all the time. So, it was great. But anyway, so all I wanted for Christmas was a plane ticket to see them, which, depending on when you get it and depending on what day of the week it was for, it could be anywhere from like 130 to 300, and it also depends on what airport you pick to fly out of. I live in Iowa, so my main choices are Cedar Rapids, Moline, and Chicago. Now, Chicago is the cheapest one because you have to drive 3 hours to get to O'Hare. So that ticket would have been maybe $180. So what I got for Christmas was a bread maker. I'm trying to think of what else. A bunch of Bath & Body Works stuff, gift cards to places, and basically it all added up to like over $600. But it wasn't a plane ticket. So, I don't know. To me, it's like, okay, they don't actually give a shit about what I actually want. They just want to be able to say, in front of our family, oh, hey, we spent $600 on our daughter, and look at all the cool stuff we got her, and this and that. And then, okay, I was initially excited about the bread maker because I make bread, and I've wanted to for a long time because I've always had to use my mom's. And even though she never uses it, it was like a wedding present, and she's used it like twice. She always gets pissy every time I use hers to make bread, even though she never uses it. But anyways, so I was holding the bread maker that she got for me for Christmas, and I was super excited. It was a new model, and it was one of those Cuisinart things, and it was silver, and it had all these different functions. And then she started going into a explanation of how to use it. And, okay, so what I like to do is use the bread maker to make the initial dough. And then I take the dough out after it's risen the first time, and let it rise again, and then I shape it into the shape that I want, and then put it in the regular oven, because if you cook and do everything in the bread maker, then it comes out this, like, box cube thing, which is a really awkward shape for bread. So that's what I like to do. But then, once I got the bread maker, she started, like, telling me what to do and how to use it. She's like, well, when you use this, you're going to cook the entire thing in the bread maker, and, you have your own now, so you can stop using mine, and, you have to do everything in the bread maker so that it doesn't make a mess when you're in the kitchen, and it's like, you literally spent fucking $300 just so that you could use an excuse to lecture me. Worst gift ever. It's like, wow, I mean, that's awful. You might as well have just not gotten it for me at all, because by the time that she was done with her rant about how not to use it, my excitement had diminished to zero. Like, I was irritated, and, you know, it wasn't even worth it. I was so pissed, I didn't even use it for like 6 months after she got it for me. So there's a little insight into the relationship I have with my mom. The point of this video is to talk about a couple things that irritate me, so that's thing number one. Number two, so I work in retail, as I mentioned before. I work at a store called Bonkers, and I had one customer today, and they were not the first customer to do this. Like, lots of customers have done this, but ordinarily what I like is people put the stuff they want on the counter, and I start scanning everything, taking off the hard tags, and da-da-da-da. I hate when people hand me shirts and pants, item one by one. That is the most annoying thing on the planet. Because A, it's confusing. You know, I scan one item and put it off to the side, and then there's another item that they kind of put a little next to the one I already scanned, and then if I don't pay attention, I might get confused between the things that I've already scanned and things I haven't. And that's how a lot of people get away with stealing stuff. It's not jacking it from the store and walking out. It's causing confusion with the cashier. Don't do it. This isn't a tip on how to steal things. This is just like, this is how theft happens sometimes. And I had someone like that today. She was handing me, you know, things one by one, and then she was staring at the price, and then one by one. And it's like, okay, you have 25 shirts. All Under Armour, by the way. And Under Armour is one of the brands that coupons never work because it's, you know, it's nice quality, and it's, you know, so coupons almost never work. So it's like, okay, each of these shirts is about $20, and you got 25 of them, which means they're going to be like, what? 20, 25, like $500? And if you're staring at the price to see like, oh, what the price is, can I afford this? Obviously you can't, and you shouldn't have grabbed 25 shirts. But what she thought she could do, we have all these different sales, but sometimes only certain coupons work on certain things. So she thought, oh, I'll use this coupon for this item and this one for this one. But the machines are set up so that you can't do that. The only way you'll be able to do that is if, let's say, the ones where the blue coupons work would be one transaction, the one where the green coupons would work would be another transaction, and then the ones with the red coupons would be a certain. But what this woman was basically asking me to do is do 3 transactions with the same person. Meanwhile, there's 10 people behind her. I was like, girl, I'm not doing this, okay? And they always say, like, the customer's always right. Like, the customer's happiness comes first. But if one customer's happiness causes 9 discontented customers behind her, it's, like, not worth it. I'm okay with 1 pissy customer as opposed to 9 or 10. So that kind of happened today. She was handing me things like one by one, and, you know, oh, well, this, that, and da-da-da, and trying to, like, you know, work the system, like, oh, I'll use coupons on this, and then da-da-da, and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I'll kind of let stuff slide. I'll be like, okay, for this to work, you'd have to use these coupons for this, and then that would be one transaction, and then such and such for the other transaction, same thing, blah, blah. And if the person's nice, it's like, okay. But the other thing that was pissing me off is this girl was talking to me specifically to distract me. She was trying to mess me up so that she could get away with shit. She was saying like, oh, this one's buy one, get 3 free, and then this one's buy one, get 1 free, and she was talking so fast, and she was moving her hands, and I knew she was trying to screw me up. But I just blocked her out. And I could tell, because she started grabbing stuff that was on the counter and playing it off. Like, she would talk for 5 minutes, and then she'd start grabbing stuff from the counter and then putting it in her cart as if I already scanned it. But I paid attention to what I already scanned and what I didn't. So I said, excuse me, ma'am, I haven't scanned those yet. And then she had 2 shirts hanging on her groceries cart, like on hangers, and I said, do you want those too? Like, if she would have just walked out with those. And it was just such an irritating experience. So that's number 2. Number 3, I hate when I go into a drive-thru and you literally ask for, like, one fucking thing. You know, a thing of nuggets or a drink or something. And then they say, is that all? Or anything else? It's like, no. I waited in line for 15 minutes to get a $1 Coke. That's literally all I want. Fuck no. And especially, like, Dunkin' Donuts. I love Dunkin' Donuts. And I know that the people they hire is not a reflection on their company. It's just a reflection of, like, the people that are available in the town I live in. which, I can't blame them for that. But when it's like, okay, I literally ordered maybe chicken salad and a croissant or something, and they're like, anything else? Bitch, you think I'm gonna go through Dunkin' and not get a coffee? Who do you think you are? That's the whole reason Dunkin' even exists. I know it's called Dunkin' Donuts, but nobody goes to Dunkin' for the fucking donuts. It's for the coffee. Because Starbucks is good. Like, don't get me wrong. Starbucks has great coffee, but it's so pricey. And it's so pretentious. I mean, there's so many Instagram posts like, oh, I got my Starbies and this and that, and it's such a, like, stereotypical white chick thing to do. Granted, I'm white-ish and a chick, I guess. So, whatever. But Dunkin' is for the working gal. And I've always stuck by Dunkin'. And for the longest time, my town didn't have a Dunkin' because Iowa. So that was great. I blocked that year out of my life, by the way. I have no idea what even happened. I think maybe I ate a sandwich. I don't remember. Dunkin' is now in my town, and from that point onwards, that's what I remember. Time before that, no. So those are a couple things that irk me, piss me off, annoy me, things that I hate. They say that hate is a strong word. Bitch, I don't think it's strong enough. You know how they say, like, I need something stronger than coffee but less than cocaine to, like, stay up or whatever? You need, like, a word like that. That's more severe than strongly dislike and hate, but not so much as, like, literally want dead. Like, there's got to be I think loathe is a good word for that, probably. Like, it's stronger than hate, but it's not to the point where you want them dead. That's, like, despise. And that sounds like a villain word or something. Well, anyways. If you liked my rant, let me know in the comments below. If you relate to some of my experiences, please share your experiences. I need to know that I'm not alone in this. And if you thought it was crazy and that I'm just a bitch who can't take anything, let me know. Like, do I need to go to therapy? Should I, like, get this anger under control? Like, come on. Let me know. Let me know all sides. Well, I'm going to get my Dunkin' iced coffee from downstairs, even though it's, what time is it? It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I work at 9 in the morning tomorrow, so coffee's the last thing I need. But this is AB Marie, over and out, wishing you all a good night.